Rivals national analyst Marshall Levenson here. As we look towards the 2024 season and beyond, one of the more intriguing storylines for me in the Big 12 is, who's going to take the step up to be the top dog in the conference with Texas and OU leaving. Oklahoma, primarily taking the cake on that for the last decade or so, and Texas this past season as they've trended up. But with them gone, I personally think it'll be Oklahoma State. If you look at what they've been able to do over the last 10, 15, really 20 years since Mike Gundy's been there, outside of Oklahoma, they've really been the model of consistency. Yeah, they've had a couple seasons where it's 7 or 8 wins, but for the most part, they were, pretty not guaranteed, but, pretty sure they were going to be a 9, 10, and an occasional 11 win team in the Big 12. Really, I mean, oftentimes only 1 or 2 losses in the Big 12. Most of the time, one of those being to Oklahoma. I mean, they've gotten their number, 2 out of the last 4 years. But before that, there was a nice streak for the Sooners against Oklahoma State. But if you look at what Oklahoma State can do, they don't have the best recruiting numbers, but they have development, and they have national award winners, and they put a fair amount of guys into the league. I think with the staff, I mean, they do such a good job of continuity on their staff. And then you have guys, I mean, like Ollie Gordon, who won the Doak Walker, and you got Brennan Presley, an all Big 12 receiver, and Colin Oliver, Kendall Daniels on defense. I don't think they're going to slow down in that regard. So I think, some of their biggest competitors may be, Kansas State's a big one. They have a really strong program. Kansas is on the up and up. And then, as far as the new programs, who knows what Colorado's going to do, but Utah's going to be a good one. That's going to be, I think, a rivalry in the Big 12 is Oklahoma State and Utah. Outside of that, I really every other team is an up and down team. Baylor and TCU every once in a while they'll give you a run for your money, just as TCU did 2 years ago and made it to the national championship. But last year I think they went 5-7. So I think Oklahoma State has the strongest case for being the new top team in the conference. And over the next 5 years or so, I do expect them to make at least 2 to 3 conference championships. Don't know if they'll win them. Like I said, you have Kansas State and Utah with some solid teams coming up. But with Texas and Oklahoma, SEC bound, and going to be battling in their own right, they don't have to worry about them in the Big 12 anymore. So I expect it'll be Oklahoma State taking the reins, and I think Mike Gundy will finally get to flex some of his conference dominance that Oklahoma has shadowed in the last 10, 15 years. So it'll be an interesting dynamic to see how the new teams mesh, but I think the Cowboys can get it done.